Hello. Wasn't this an unexpected knockout? Jorge Masvidal, a man with not only cat-like reflexes, but also a man with a granite chin, is just hitting that button with perfect technique, paired with Kamaru Usman's remarkable physical aptitude in leveraging that technique. If you add in the reality that Jorge Masvidal thought it was a wrestling shot, that he didn't expect the punch until it was too late, Kamaru Usman did everything perfect, going for a shot early on, establishing his jab, and of course, if you saw his fight with Gilbert Burns, you know exactly how dangerous Kamaru's jab is. He knocked a man out with just his jab. You could even see it evoking a reaction on Jorge Masvidal's face when it connected. What a rare physical specimen. And the scariest part about all of this is the fact that Kamaru Usman is a very intelligent fighter. He's not just a meathead. He's not just physical ability. He's also very intelligent, and also has a remarkable aptitude for implementing higher levels of technical understanding. Kamaru Usman constantly turning with his movement. Well, when you walk into angles, your opponent has to turn in order to reestablish their optimum line of attack. Constantly resetting your feet to track a circling opponent means you have fewer windows to launch your attack effectively. You'll have to take a risk to line them up with that movement or turn with them to regain your line of attack. This is the power of turning your opponent, having them reset their feet. Kamaru Usman as well was just straight up throwing bombs. His game was built off his jab, circling, feinting. When you'd react to the jab, he'd head feint then duck into a haymaker. Here, you saw him use the duck overhand, hoping to counter Jorge's engage as well. But that's the thing about Jorge Masvidal. He has crazy reaction time. He's really good at seeing punches coming. That's why Kamaru Usman needed so many levels of setup. The aim was to have him flinch, the wrong reaction in order to catch Jorge with another one. That said, with a dominant jab, wrestling pressure established, and head feints, level changes, you consistently see that slight distribution of body weight, selling the intent. Having Jorge Masvidal guess between all of these different questions posed, forcing him to think about different answers. Having Jorge Masvidal guess between the two with a haymaker here and there to reinforce that pressure. Just look at that slight head feint as he sinks into his body weight. Note how Kamaru Usman was using head feints and level changes, rolling his head and reading Masvidal's reaction. The slight head feint outside as he sank into his mass. Look at that. He's sitting down on his punch. Gravity is accelerating the force of the strike alongside his fast twitch and technique leveraging it. Just look at that. When this came in, Jorge Masvidal said he thought this was a wrestling shot, but his reaction to it wasn't to that of a wrestling shot. He's trying to counter-check, perhaps the jab off of instinct. It looks like he's trying to catch the head position of the jab. But Kamaru Usman, with that slight feint, going the other way, his head just isn't there. Stepping towards the center line, sitting down on the punch as he commits to the strike, slipping inside after the slight head feint. There's so much going into this technique, into this one simple move. It's perfect. He's leveraging all the components to just make it perfect, literally perfect. He didn't just explode off his muscles. He used gravity as the engine to accelerate the punch as he sat down on his mats, and just look at the rotation of his hips, turning into it, all of that, all of his mass accelerating with the physics of a proper strike being used properly. The follow through though, the commitment was just so heavy, like a rocket ship blasting off from planet Earth. It's so much force and commitment that Kamaru Usman's back foot unpins. He slips off of balance and he ends up in a square stance trying to regain his footing. It was literally everything. Everything into the stratosphere. The punch had everything. All the technique and then some to fully maximize Kamaru Usman's force. That's what it took to take out Jorge Masvidal. And at the end of it, he was standing up smiling just fine. His face was perfectly fine. His jaw was perfectly fine. What is he made of? How do you take that and wake up okay, perfectly fine, giving interviews like nothing happened? That's just crazy. Nonetheless though, even with the granite chin of Jorge Masvidal taking this strike, the lights had to go out. This was definitely an evolution to Kamaru Usman's stand-up game. Taking knowledge from one world, it's a cross-pollination of understanding as Kamaru Usman enters a new library. He's combining worlds of technical understanding, and this here was the fruit of just that. When you understand this dramatic change, you realize these are the kinds of champions that are the most difficult to beat, as they're constantly getting better, constantly evolving, constantly improving. The looks change, thus the look you have to adapt to also changes, so you might end up from there, preparing for the wrong one. How are you going to prepare for something that's always evolving, always changing, always getting better? Even Jorge Masvidal had said it himself. He thought he was going to get foot stomped this fight. He thought there was going to be more grappling pressure, but that's just it. Kamaru Usman has so many looks he can give that if you adapt one way, he can just show up, shattering that expectation another way. No one can call Kamaru Usman boring now. What a remarkable human being and fighter, doing it all so he can give his daughter a better life. And it's something we all need to take from, a sense of meaning one way or another. Because when you feel that so viscerally, when a father feels so viscerally about his child, that he wants to give this person a better life, he wants to give his family a better life, his people a better life, that man, he gains an aura of invincibility. Kamaru Usman is an example to us all. When you understand, you realize it's a shame that today's era has such a huge problem with fathers sticking around. There's a father crisis where 1 in 4 children will grow up in a household without a biological father, adoptive or stepfather. And so watching this, watching a man rise to the top for his daughter, that's not only beautiful, it's necessary for our world today. We need to see more of this. We need to see more of Kamaru Usman, his motivations for why he has achieved such a tier of greatness. An invincible, unbreakable mind, fueled by a father who wants to give to his daughter, give to his child a better life. Not everyone has this privilege. Thank you, Kamaru Usman, for this lesson. It's amazing how so many MMA fighters are just dads who want to give their loved ones a better life. They overcome all this tremendous fear, anxiety. They're willing to suffer to the bitter end, even when they're working another job. Many of them are working other jobs, and they're taking fights to take care of their kids. That's incredible. This arena is incredible. The people who constitute it are a lesson to us all. And this man, the champion, is a perfect example of just that. He shows it to us. He wears it on his sleeve. He leaves it for the world to see. His motivations for why he's so strong. Why his mind is unbreakable even when he's under tremendous pain, tremendous ridicule, tremendous turmoil. He's willing to endure it all. We need more people like Kamaru Usman on the grand stage showing us how he got there, why he's able to suffer so much and just keep showing up every single time without any waver, regardless of who they put in front of him. Just show up and do his duty as he was ordained. How is he able to do that? What is the secret? It's love. The answer for greatness has always been love. Thank you, Kamaru Usman and Jorge Masvidal, for this lesson. Thank you to all of you for watching. And until next time, peace.